Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Environmentalism Pakistan. Environmentalism, as always, it's the Pakistan's first ever podcast series, which help rise shine issue on environmental issues, and it's in Pakistan, in South Asia region, and the rest of the world. And environmentalism is designed to shed light on emerging local and regional environmentalists who help us shine light on the pressing and rapidly occurring climate change issues. With that, we have one very wonderful guest from Sri Lanka, and her name is Ms. Gururatne. So, Ms. Roshini Gunaratne is a development professional in the area of food system and nutrition. Ms. Gurnatni is started her career with a leading industrial chamber in Sri Lanka and then moved to United Nations Industrial Development Organization (UNIDO). After working in UNIDO and International Trade Center (ITC), she joined Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations (FAO). In FAO, she handled overall country project portfolios in agriculture, aquaculture and fisheries, livestock and environment, and led a specific project portfolio in food security and nutrition. During her tenure in FAO, she led a FAO component of IOM-WFP-FAO Migration, Environment, and Climate Change Rapid Assessment. Further, she acted as a secretary of the Agriculture a development partner group and DDR result group in UN in Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Agriculture appointed her as the National Dialogue Curator of Member State Food System Summit Dialogue in 2021 in Sri Lanka, and she led the scientific team to develop a national pathway document for Sri Lanka to present the Global Food System Summit 2021, which was held in New York, USA on 23rd September. She is also reading for her PhD in agriculture economic and at the University of Colombo in Sri Lanka, and she holds a MPhil degree in analytic chemistry from the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, and a BSc in natural sciences from the Sri Lankan Open University. With that, we welcome you, Roshni. We would love to have a chat with you, and we have a couple of questions that we would love to ask you based on your knowledge and experience. So, over to you.
Thank you, Alaiha. Thank you for the introduction. So, Alaiha, I'm so happy to participate in your podcast, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. With that, I have one question that we have been reading in your bio a lot, that you work on food systems and nutrition. So, can you explain us what is food systems and nutrition?
Yes, Alaiha. Food system, it is a very complex system, and it gathers all the elements such as environment, people, and inputs, processes, infrastructure, and institutions, and the activities that relate to the production, processing, distribution, and preparation and consumption of food, and the outputs of these activities, including socioeconomic and environmental outcomes. If I may explain to you more, the food supply chain, if you take the food supply chain, it has the food production systems and input supply, storage and distribution, processing and packaging, and retail and marketing. And then when we talk about the food environment, when it comes to food environment, it has the food availability, and that is type of food and the diversity of food and what we can have the offer, what are the types of food to offer, and then food availability, the food prices, and the comparisons of what are the food there, and the income and expenditure of the people that they can buy food, and the products, the properties of the food, like safety, quality, and the appeal and convenience, and the vendor properties where the food is located, and the type and retail outlets, and food messaging like food promotion, advertising, and information. And then when you talk about the food preparation, meal practices and storage, and that is the consumer behavior, the acquisition, and then individual level filters, like let's say like economic income and purchasing power, cognitive information and knowledge, then aspirational desires, value and preferences, situational, home and work environment, mobility, location, time, resources. All these things are inside the food system. And when it comes to the diets, all these things contribute to the diets, and that is where the nutrition is being talking, and it is a outcome like health, nutrition, socio-cultural, economic, environment as the outcomes of all these elements, and it is being driven by the elements of environmental, climatic change, globalization and trade, income growth and distribution. Then when it comes to urbanization, population growth and migration, politics and leadership, socio-cultural context. One of these elements, if this goes out of balance, the whole food system goes out of balance. So let me take a simple example to explain this very complex situation. Let's take the current global situation of the COVID-19, the pandemic, global pandemic situation. It is an issue in the health system. So the food system is made out of little other systems like health system, economic system, socio-cultural system, political system, education system, so on and so forth. So COVID-19 pandemic situation is an issue with the health system, but it has brought a imbalance in the food system. How? Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, due to it has affected the health system, and because of that imbalance in the health system, people can't move. The mobility has been restricted. The import exportation has been restricted. The cultivation, the food cultivation and farmer mobility has been restricted. And economic systems, people, money transactions, income levels have been affected. So all these things have been affected, and the food system, as a result, the global food system has been affected. So likewise, one system, there's an issue in the one system being affected the other system, and it has been impacted on the nutrition, people nutrition, because the lack of food, the affordability for the food, availability of food, the safety and quality of food have been affected. So this is how the food system, this is what the food system is, and as I explained, and the nutrition is, and how the nexus between the food system and the nutrition.
Okay, thank you so much. That is huge. That is something that should not go out of balance. So we need to have taps on it, and you're working on something very wonderful to keep us all in, keep us all safe and fine with what we're doing, and also to keep the environment safe and see that everything is working in place. So Roshni, we have another question that I would want to know what agriculture, aquaculture, and fisheries and livestock, and how all of these are connected with the environment, how they are connected, all of this. Over to you.
Yes, yeah. So I'll go one by one. Now, if we take agriculture, what are the impacts in agriculture to the environment? When you take the agriculture, the main issue in agriculture is for agriculture we need water and land. So when you talk about the water and land, in the land, the main thing is for agriculture, the input management. So for agriculture, we need agrochemicals. And when it comes to agrochemicals, it's pesticides and fertilizer. So the issue arises when we use chemical fertilizer or agrochemicals, overuse and misuse of chemical fertilizers. So overuse and misuse make environmental pollution, soil erosion, and unsustainable issues in agriculture. So agriculture becomes unsustainable. So that becomes environmental, that contributes to environmental pollution. So that means we have to think of lot of ways and means of sustainable, making agriculture sustainable. When it comes to aquaculture, the capture fisheries are dominated by marine production and inland fisheries. So that is something that most of the society, like individuals and people, are involved in, even though we don't think. So that is also like mainly the aquacultural practices and species that we use in inland fisheries, and the locations are mainly contributing for the environmental issues. So in that case also, we have to be very careful about what are the species that we use, what are the practices that we use, and even the marine production, what are the ways that, because ecosystems are depleting. So the safe and using safe means of capturing the fish, restoring the marine systems are taking long time. So we have to be very careful about, without depleting our marine ecosystems, we have to use safe methods of capturing the marine fishes and also the inland fisheries. So that is where the environment comes into play. And also when you talk about the livestock, the greenhouse gas emission, which is affecting the climate change massively, it's contributing for the climate change. So this is where the nexus makes. So in this case, most of the time the resource depletion is the issue. So we have to think how we are going to make this into a way that we can make it into one system. So making all these aquaculture, agriculture, and livestock in one system, integrated system, is the sustainable way of having them environmentally sustainable and sustainable system, sustainable agriculture, aquaculture, and livestock system. Making it integrated will be the most suitable way of having it, looking into the minimizing the environmental impact on that.
Thank you so much, Roshni. That was wonderful. That is, yeah. I honestly think that one day we will understand this, and one day we will understand the meaning of sustainable use, because sustainable use is goes vast. So with that, I will move to my next question. That how does environmental issues and climate change issues have impact on agriculture, aquaculture, fisheries, livestock? If there are any, then if there are any that you can tell us about that, what are those effects?
Yes, Alaya, the main issue is the climate change is, yeah, really climate change is happening and we can see it. The thing is, like, prolonged drought seasons are happening and flash floods are the other issue. So flash floods, more than the flash floods, the prolonged drought is the issue that mainly agriculture, aquaculture, and livestock and fisheries is affected. So this is where we have to have the main thinking, how we are going to have to have adaptative measures and mitigation measures for to be looking into the forward, looking into the climate change. So this to face this issue, how to face the climate change, that is the main thing that all the people in the globe is now looking at. So in that case, the making the agriculture sustainable, what are the measures that we have to take? The global discussion is now leading in this way. So this environment, making it sustainable, is the issue. So that's where we have to stand now. And now very soon the COP26 is taking place. The global discussions are taking place, and they are thinking in how these things are going to happen and how they are going to take the measures in that. That is the main. Climate change has become the main hot topic in the global context right now.
Yes, that is true. Climate change, it has become a very hot topic now, and we will learn a lot of things from that, and we will learn sustainable use and sustainable living. So, Roshni, I have one tiny last question. Can you tell us about the impact of chemical fertilizers on our bodies, on our lives, on our environment? Because we need to know what we eat, how we live. So, please, over to you. Please give us a bit of briefing about it.
Yeah, though the chemical fertilizer increases the plant growth and it's bigger and it meets the food security of the world, but the plant grown in the way does not develop the plant good plant characters such as good root system, shoot system, nutritional characters, and also it will not get time to grow and mature properly. So chemically produced plant will accumulate in the human body like it's toxic chemicals and which very dangerous. So these chemical fertilizers itself start from manufacture of these chemicals like products and byproducts are some toxic chemicals like urea, carbon dioxide, methane. So it will cause air pollution and then it wastes from the industries and dispose of untreated nearby water bodies and it will cause water pollution. And also it includes devastating effect in chemical waste accumulation in the water bodies, water eutrophication and then adding to soil, continuous use of degrades the soil health, quality, then causing soil pollution. Again, it will have high, like people have to realize that it is crop production inputs like it's depleting the environment and ecosystem. Then it continues use without taking any remedial measures to reduce the judicious use, it deplete in the natural resources and one day it will threaten all the form of life in the earth and it accumulate in human body synthetic chemicals and health is also like making health environment issues and making carcinogenic chemicals and causing cancer and other unknown health issues in human body. So those are the things that people are think of and but using chemical fertilizers, agrochemicals with soil testing and plant testing, that is a very good practice. But people have to think in a new way of using chemicals rather than just without testing and using all these things, and also to move into biofertilizers, biopesticides, and manure. These are the good practices in using an integrated pest management practices and organic farming. These are the good practices that people have to think in these areas, and it's a high time now.
Yes,
So
yes, that is true. That is very true. I myself have been working on this issue that we need to address people that climate change and including that chemical fertilizers are making a mess out of our lives. So, Roshni, can you suggest us any possible solutions to protect our agriculture and food security that will make
yes,
us help, grow our lives and make our lives better and everything sustainable? Because you and I, we both know that it's not like that our one action is only impacting one thing. It's like it is impacting an entire circle of life. So please suggest us something. Thank you.
yes, Alaya. Even during the Global Food System Summit, they had this 5 action tracks. Basically, they were talking about nutritious and safe food for all, sustainable consumption patterns, nature boost agriculture production systems, and equitable livelihoods, and climate resilient food systems. So these are the 5 action tracks. Global Food System Summits, all discussions and solutions were took place this year. So it's a very valid question at the moment. The whole globe is taking a different form right now. So sustainable agriculture and food systems are a hot topic around the world, and Basically, I would say there are making agriculture sustainable. There are a lot of ways and means, but I will select few. Uh, Crop rotation and diversity. Crop rotation diversity is a practice of growing variety of different crops on the same plot in sequence seasons. So this is a polyculture. It's an important element of soil fertility management and tests and other assets of increasing yields. So basically, we use chemical fertilizers to increase the yield. The people have this mindset. So crop rotation is a very good way of doing this. And then using cover crops. Cover crops is an intermediate culture between two production cultures. So main function is to protect land against erosion and enhance soil quality. The use of cover crops reduce the need for chemicals and other agrochemical fertilizers. And no-till farming, reducing, avoiding tillage allows grow crops without disturbing the soil arrangements and reducing erosion again, but also increase the amount of infiltrating water, boost organic matter retention and nutrient cycles. And integrated pest management. So IPM is a based experimentation and observation, allowing to develop crops in harmony with their environment and make them profitable. It makes into the account of biological methods and plant protection. So, and agroforestry and animal raising. This is again a integrated method which I explained to you earlier. This is an ancestral practice even before we get this green revolution in mid 60s. And then again, renewable energy use, which is we use the clean sustainable energy and efficiently in the farmyards. So these are few of good agricultural, sustainable agricultural practices I would suggest that we can go for better farming practices in the future and even now onwards, like some countries and most of the countries, they are using these practices. So that will make agriculture sustainable and even profitable.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Roshni. We did learn a lot of things from you. And yes, we need crop rotation, we need, and food security and nutrition systems are doing a lot. And whatever, if anything goes back to the food security system by the climate change, it will have impact on us and everything that we're doing right now. So yes, we need climate change has an impact on livestock, and we need crop rotation. We need to get away from chemical fertilizers and overuse of chemical fertilizers, and we need to stop exploiting the fisheries, the aquaculture, and we need to have we need sustainability basically from the very bottom. I just think we just need sustainability. So, guys, this was our podcast, and we discussed about food security and the impact we have on wildlife. Sorry, on livestock, on agriculture and aquaculture. So, with that, Roshni, thank you so much for your time, and I highly appreciate all your effort, and I wish you all the very best for the epic work that you're doing for us to have sustainable food. And with that, everybody, thank you so much. Peace out from our side, from me and Roshni, and we will see you in another episode with another interesting topic and with another solution for you to live sustainably.